Is this going to be a country that I don't recognize in 5 to 10 years if we don't have these two pillars? If we don't, I mean, where are the Democrats going with this? If Mamdani is the face of the Democrats on the East Coast and Katie Porter is the face on the West Coast, I don't know if that's great politically for that.
It looks like socialists are officially taking over the Democratic Party, and Mamdani's election as New York's mayor has just sealed the deal. Even the party's top brass now seems to be warming up to his radical socialist agenda, a shift that could spell serious trouble for the DNC. That's exactly why Bill Maher decided to step in and play savior, calling out where the party lost its way and how it might still claw its way back. Let's get into it.
The guy he just brought up, that's who you're all going to have to answer for. So I got to get your answer. This is Mamdani, if you've been not following the news. He won the Democratic primary in New York, so he is certainly likely to be the next mayor. We don't know. I mean, there's a lot of opposition because we've never had someone this radical. Some of the things he says, prisons were obsolete. What purpose do they serve? I could think of a couple. The NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety. I think most people think cops are protecting their public safety, even though there's issues and problems with the police department. Do you like capitalism? No. We've never had a guy quite like this. You know, he quotes Marxist, each according to their need. I mean, that's straight up communism. Whether you call it the abolition of private property, you call it housing guarantees, it's preferable to what is going on right now.
Maher actually sounded the alarm about many months before the election. And while it's still early days, something tells me that warning is going to age like fine wine. He saw the red flags long before anyone else did, let's not forget. This isn't the first time Maher's political instincts have proven right. Remember when he cautioned the DNC against fielding Kamala Harris as a presidential candidate? They ignored him, convinced they knew better. And what happened? A complete political disaster, one of the most humiliating defeats in modern American history. It's almost as if the party is addicted to repeating its own mistakes. Maher isn't a prophet, but he has a knack for spotting trouble long before it hits. And if his track record is anything to go by, Manny's rise may just be the next chapter in the DNC's slow-motion downfall.
I mean, just the phrase abolition of private property, not something we usually hear in America.
There's always a villain. There's people, they always try to create a villain, is my point. They always try to create some boogeyman or boogie. No. If it wasn't this one, it was going to be somebody else.
I'm not creating anything.
I'm not defending the policies. There are plenty of things that I disagree with there and that I don't come down on.
You're going to have to answer everything like this. They're going to ask every single Democratic politician.
But the point being, we see this every cycle. I've now been doing this long enough to know that every single cycle, there's some contrived villain or boogeyman.
This guy clearly missed Maher's point, and you can see it written all over his face, that visible mix of disbelief and irritation. Nobody is out here trying to turn Manny into a boogeyman. We've made that crystal clear several times on this channel. The truth is, Manny doesn't need anyone to paint him as a radical. His own words and policies do that job perfectly well. Every concern Bill Maher raised about the newly elected New York mayor wasn't an exaggeration or a smear campaign. It was grounded in Manny's own statements and his own political blueprint. When a politician openly pushes ideas that challenge the very foundation of American capitalism, people are going to talk, and rightly so. Maher is just holding up a mirror, showing the left what it refuses to see. And if that makes Manny look like a boogeyman, well, that's entirely on him.
And if it wasn't this
one, he's not contrived. He's going to be the mayor of New York.
The thing that I find the most appalling, which is that he defends the expression globalize the Intifada.
Yes, correct.
Which explicitly means, and I don't want to hear anyone deny this, everything that the crazy far right alleged about Barack Obama, wasn't born in America, right. Islamist, socialist, right. Anti-Semite, hates America, it's all true about this guy, right. Okay? It is all true about this guy. And the fact that this man is on the verge of becoming the mayor of the second largest Jewish city in the world is very frightening, and I'm actually really disappointed that more Democrats have either, are not coming out and condemning him and saying we're not going to endorse this guy because he is beyond the.
Maher called it long before the results came in. He knew Manny was going to win, and he was absolutely right. The signs were all there, the media hype, the progressive wave. and the party's increasing tilt toward the far left. But Maher didn't just predict Mani's victory. He also warned that his rise could be dangerous for the Democratic Party's future, and honestly, I couldn't agree more. Yes, capitalism has its flaws. No system is perfect, but socialism isn't the magic solution the left pretends it is. It sounds appealing in theory, all about equality and fairness until reality hits. Innovation dries up, jobs vanish, and government control starts creeping into every corner of life. Maher understands that this drift towards socialism isn't progress. It's a slow undoing of everything that built America's strength. And if the DNC doesn't wake up soon, it might already be too late.
It seems to me that there are two pillars that this country is founded on. One is democracy, and one is capitalism, free markets. And it seems like one party wants to get rid of one, and the other party wants to get rid of the other. Right? The Republicans are not that, democracy is just not number one on their list. It just isn't. It isn't. It's behind Christianity and a few other things. And the Democrats, I mean, I read these, 74% are for democratic socialism. Only 16% favor capital.
And that pretty much explains how Mani, with all his Marxist quotes and unapologetically socialist leanings, managed to climb his way to the top of the DNC ticket. Democrats aren't just flirting with socialism anymore, they're embracing it. The shift is undeniable. The party's base, once a mix of moderates and progressives, is now overwhelmingly dominated by self-proclaimed socialists who see capitalism as the enemy and redistribution as the solution. It's no longer about reforming the system. It's about replacing it entirely, and while the party's old guard may still pretend it's business as usual, it's only a matter of time before they either catch on or are pushed out. The winds of ideological change are blowing hard through the Democratic ranks, and Mani is just the first wave of a movement that could redefine, or perhaps even destroy, the DNC as we know it.
Is this going to be a country that I don't recognize in 5 to 10 years if we don't have these two pillars? If we don't, I mean, where are the Democrats going with this? If Mamdani is the face of the Democrats on the East Coast and Katie Porter is the face on the West Coast, I don't know if that's great politically for that.
No, this isn't good for the party, and it's certainly not good for America. With Mani rising on the East Coast and Katie Porter gaining influence on the West, the Democratic Party is steering straight into dangerous waters. This isn't just a political imbalance. It's a recipe for national disaster. The United States thrives when both major parties hold each other accountable, offering competing ideas grounded in reason, not ideology. We need a strong Democratic Party, one that challenges the GOP, not one that mimics the failed experiments of socialism. The DNC can be that party again, but only if it rediscovers its core principles: freedom, pragmatism, and balance. Right now, it's abandoning all three in favor of radical slogans and emotional politics. If this trajectory continues, it won't just weaken the DNC, it could erode the very political balance that keeps America's democracy strong.
New York is New York. It's definitely it's the media capital, the financial capital. It is a bellwether like no other city is in this country. So don't tell me that who the mayor of New York is doesn't matter.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second. Do you think, let's say, on the seize the means of production, do you think that the mayor, that one person, if he is a democratic socialist, do you think that he would have the power and influence to be able to, like, usher in socialism?
He definitely has the power and influence to elect J.D. Vance or whoever is the Republican candidate next time.
Maher firmly believes that Mamdani's election all but guarantees a OP victory in the next national election. And honestly, he might be onto something. Sure, it's still early days and anything can happen in politics, but Maher has a sharp eye for political trends. His reasoning is simple. Middle America isn't buying into the socialist experiment. These are hardworking people who believe in capitalism not because it's perfect, but because they've seen what happens when governments try to replace it with state control and redistribution. They understand that socialism sounds compassionate in theory, but proves disastrous in practice: higher taxes, fewer jobs. and vanishing incentives to work and innovate. So if the DNC continues to drift left under figures like Manny, it's practically handing the next election to the GOP on a silver platter. Maher's warning isn't paranoia. It's political foresight.
It is a walking commercial for the Republican Party
I think
nationally.
the Republicans are going to.
When you let the Democrats, socialists, and now they're actually calling themselves socialists, when you let them take over a major American city, this is what you get. The state-run grocery stores, which work so well in Cuba and the Soviet Union and Venezuela, just bad ideas. And again, this ugly streak, streak of anti-Semitism.
Maher once warned that nominating Kamala Harris would be the political equivalent of crowning Donald Trump as president. And as we all saw, he wasn't wrong. Back then, few people took him seriously. His comments were dismissed as cynical or exaggerated. Now, history appears to be repeating itself. Maher is once again sounding the alarm, this time over Manny's rise to power. He believes Mamdani's election could pave the way for a Republican landslide in 2028. And once again, many are shrugging it off, but Maher has a track record of spotting political disasters before they unfold. He understands voter psychology and the country's resistance to far-left ideology. Ignoring his warnings a second time wouldn't just be careless, it would be political negligence. If the DNC fails to learn from the past, it may be handing the next election and the White House straight back to the GOP.
Who's the most popular politician on the left?
AOC? I don't know.
One of, but who's Bernie? Bernie is
yeah.
Bernie is. I mean, he's not a capitalist.
No, he's not, and he's also not president.
He's not. But
never would be.
But neither is Mamdani.
No, but he will, trust me, he will be featured in the campaign commercials.
But they're going to feature people. They boogeyman everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to boogeyman him. He does it to himself.
But they'll do it regardless. Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, but
they make anybody as boogeyman.
It has.
I think it was
just have more weight when it's real. I mean, when you can really.
Now, all the names the guests mentioned: Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, and AOC weren't turned into boogeymen out of thin air. They earned their reputations the hard way. Pelosi, for instance, became a symbol of political hypocrisy after years of benefiting from insider trading while serving as speaker. Her financial gains and questionable stock dealings raised serious ethical red flags. Then there's Gavin Newsom, whose leadership has turned California into a cautionary tale: rampant homelessness, skyrocketing living costs, and a mass exodus of residents fleeing failed policies. And of course, AOC, the face of modern woke politics, whose performative activism often overshadows real, workable solutions. So no, the GOP didn't invent these criticisms. These figures handed them ammunition on a silver platter. When politicians repeatedly act in ways that betray public trust, it isn't demonization, it's accountability. And that's exactly what Maher has been pointing out all along.
This must be horrible for a guy like you, who you spent your whole life talking about how government tries to do too much, which it does, and spends too much. And here you have Trump, who is the Republican, who is aggrandizing more power than anybody, as we just talked about. And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win?
Yeah. I think every 20 years or so.
Wait.
We need every 20 years or so, we need a conspicuous, confined experiment with socialism so we can crack it up again. Socialist slogan used to be, workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. The new socialist slogan is, trust us, this time it won't be a mess.
That's absolutely true. Many socialists have quietly come to terms with the reality that their ideals simply don't work in the real world. But rather than abandon ship, they're trying to repaint it. They're rebranding socialism with new buzzwords like equity, social justice, and economic fairness, hoping no one notices it's the same failed ideology dressed in modern packaging. History has already given us the verdict. Every country that's tried full-blown socialism has ended up with economic collapse, government overreach, and widespread poverty. Meanwhile, capitalism, though imperfect, has consistently driven innovation, lifted billions out of poverty, and rewarded hard work. It's not flawless, but it's by far the best system we've got. The sooner the left stops trying to rewrite economic history and starts embracing pragmatic capitalism again, the better their chances of rebuilding both credibility and public trust. Maher's warnings aren't just political commentary, they're lessons in paying attention to reality. From Kamala Harris to Mamdani, his track record shows the consequences of ignoring ideological extremes. Socialism, repackaged or not, has repeatedly failed in practice. While capitalism continues to drive prosperity and innovation, the DNC risks losing its way if it abandons its principles. Recognizing these lessons early is crucial for the party, for voters, and for the future of American politics, and that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe to Pixel Fork for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.